Thought I'd do a quick video update while I wait for my tea tonight, which is 2-minute noodles to hydrate. Rehydrating them instead of cooking them in the pot to save a bit of cleaning. Easy to clean silicone pot or bowl. Got my Superfly set up down yonder between some gum trees. Picked a couple gum trees. Gum trees are notorious for having widow makers, but these ones look pretty clear up above. Had to use 2 straps on one of the trees. That's why I brought the extra straps with me. Got a bit wet today on just my boots. Dried them out relatively well. My socks are well on their way to being dry, but my socks that I was drying today are dry, so I'll be able to wear them tomorrow. Today was a lot harder than what I was anticipating. I just thought it was 5-hour downhill walk, but it was uphill, downhill, and very muddy. It took me 5.5 hours, which is a lot quicker than other people. It took another hour or so, or probably an hour or 2 for the next few groups to come on in. Probably 2 hours. The guys that were already here coming from the other direction said that in their book it said it was a 6-hour walk, so yeah, I guess I didn't do too bad. Shoulders were hurting a bit. It would have been better with Osprey pack, as I keep saying, but next time. Feet were getting pretty sore by the end, and my knee in the last literally 5 minutes started to get sore. So where I am set up, I've already had about 4 or 5 leeches trying to have a go at my feet. None of them actually latched on though, so I thought I'd cook tea up here on these platforms. There's a few flies and bugs and mosquitoes about, and then pretty much bunkered down for the night. Gonna try to get an early start tomorrow. Worrying about the last day. Want to try to close the gap. It's only day 3 and that's day 8, but yeah, want to get a head start on things. And other news, they've already gone through 1 battery for this Nikon P300, so I don't know how many more videos I would be doing. And my Samsung, that's still chugging on through its first battery. Quite amazing. It's gone further than even Samsung claim it'll go. Battery meters going up and down, left, right and centre though, so hopefully I'll get the whole trip out of both cameras, or at least the Samsung, because hey, I'm in it for the photos, videos just extra. But anyway, I'll better check on tea and catch you later. Video update on the 4th day of my walk. Didn't sleep that great last night. I set up my underquilt all wrong, and I left the tarp up in porch mode because it was such a nice evening. And but the breeze, it was only a slight breeze through the night, but it was just icy cold, and with the underquilt not right. So I tried to rejig it through the night, just from within the hammock, and ended up spinning around and sleeping the other way. But still got like probably a good 7-8 hours sleep. I've been sleeping about 10 hours each night. Tried to get on the trail a bit early this morning, and I only left at about 8:15. I was trying to pack up quietly because there was a guy sleeping not far away. So I had my breakfast, but I didn't have my coffee, so stopped for morning tea. Got the water on the boil. I'll have a few snacks, and I'll keep going, but feeling a bit exhausted today so far, so hopefully a bit of food will pick me up. The nickel in my knee that I had at the end of yesterday is still there, so hopefully a good night's sleep tonight will cure that. But yeah, we'll see how we go after this break. Here I am at the Pelion Gap. This is the highest point for today. There's 2 sidewalks here. Mount Pelion East and Mount Ossa. The Mount Ossa one on a day like this is very, very highly recommended, but with my knee playing up and it's apparently a 3-4 hour walk, the other one, Mount Pelion East, is a bit shorter, about 1.5–2, but with my knee playing up, I don't really want to go up the mountain. There's a few packs here, a couple of people already have. There's my pack sitting there, but yeah, I might just keep on plodding today, heading that way. I've already stopped, sorted out some water. I'll take some photos while I'm here. That's the way from whence I came. Luckily it wasn't too muddy, but it was basically uphill all the way. Now I've got downhill. I'll see how long it takes me to get to the Kia Ora Hut, I think it's called, and I might even look at going onto the Windy Ridge Hut if I'm feeling up to it, get ahead of schedule a bit, in case I end up limping. But yeah, that's all for now. Just as I was taking some photos, an old couple turned up. They're going to give Mount Pelion a go. I mean Mount Ossa, sorry. They said they've never seen it that clear. He'd done it 5 times, the Overland track, and she'd done it 4 times. Yeah, they agreed when I said that I was chickening out because my knee was playing up. They agreed that was probably a wise move. The track's quite nice at the moment, as you can see. Little boardwalk. They said it's quite muddy coming up though, so when I stopped for morning tea, I had the idea, which I'd had before I left, hence why I could execute the idea. Think of that. Some music for motivation to keep plodding on. So got the headphones in, as you can see, and I'll try to make decent pace along this boardwalk so I can take it easy through the mud and try to keep my boots relatively dry. I'll try to do an update on them at some point. They're meant to be quite good Merrill boots, but all the plastic bit splitting, so it's not very good quality there. But yeah, it's about a bit after 11 o'clock now. Started at 8 o'clock. This track's meant to be 3 to 4 hours. I've done the uphill section. This is all downhill. We'll keep on trekking. Over and out. I got warned that the track here was going to be muddy. I think this classifies as muddy. Let's see how we go. Well, I got through the mud alright. Nearly went in on my first step and on my about 4th step, but jarred my ankle a little bit on that one, but nothing too bad. This sort of trail we're walking through now, still a little muddy, and nowhere near as bad as that was. That continued on for a couple of corners. Lots of root trees. We're on the way downhill now, of course. But yeah, we're a bit after, or literally as I finished the video talking about how I saw the old couple when I wasn't going up the mountain because my knee was still got a bit of a tingle. It started hurting. It's come good now. Still trying to be relatively careful on it. Don't know if it's when I bend it too much or strain it too much, or my best guess is sideways movement, but it's a bit hard to really tell and diagnose. But while the going's good, it's alright, so I'll keep on going. Promising parties for when I slipped and did jar my ankle, it didn't hurt my knee, and it was the same leg. So he's hoping right even. Getting up to a bit more puddly and muddy stuff. So I'll put this camera away before I drop it and keep going. Check out this view. Came out of there, Eucalypt Forest, come out, there's Mount Ossa. Because I'm slacking, haven't looked at my map, don't know what that one's called, but trail that I'm going to be walking, and that's down into some valley. But this is what I've had the whole walk. You walk through a bit of a bush or forest and come out and spectacular views. And it's getting very hot today. Back down to the t-shirt. But yeah, great weather, great views, and I'll keep on going. I've made it to the Kia Oe, or however it's pronounced, campsite. This is the group camp area. This is the peak season, you have to book to stay here. Not sure if these poles will be strong enough to hang a hammock from. Wouldn't necessarily, they'll probably be high enough, but these are where people set up their primitive ground dwellings. There's a little stream through there with a path down to. Then we've got one of the huts up here. All the huts seem to have solar panels, but none of them have power. Some radio towers on top of that. They might feed into the rangers ones. Kia Ora, I would pronounce it. There's a little map of the campsite area. It's only about 20 to 1 now, so what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is take off my boots, air my feet a bit, and have some lunch. So yeah, there's the hut. Tank water that says that you should boil it anyway. Most people have just been drinking it. I've been filtering it because I've got my filter with me. Bog over there, dunny, toilets, whatever you want to call it. And, I'll give you an example of what's one of these huts. Things that nobody's about. Rangers' quarters. I've got a thermometer. What is it today? I can't read it, so I don't know if it's working. But yeah, this is one of the huts. We've got coal heating in this one, some of them have gas. Apparently, people sleep in these things. I don't know, it's a bit bizarre to me. But yeah, this is probably not as flash as some of the other huts that I've seen. But it's a good example of what you can stay in. It's off season at the moment. None of the huts have been completely, or some of them have been completely full, but if you're meant to carry a tent, if you got here early enough there won't be a problem with nabbing one of these. But sort of closed in by trees, it's a bit too much to have too much of a view. But this is, yeah, an example of one of the campsites. And then there's a few other little camping platforms. I've used a couple of them throughout the days, but yeah, campsite. See ya. Here's some more camping platforms, still at the Kia Ora campsite. Couple of trees. Would make good distance, except problem with a lot of gum trees is you get lots of dead branches right above. But there's a few more little sites, much like this one. It looks like I would have been able to find a site here if I wanted to, but I'm gonna keep on going. There's even another little emergency hut that you can camp at, but of course, yet again, I'm not using the huts, so but yeah, just thought I'd show why I've been camping over some of these platforms. And as I mentioned, I've got my boots and socks out to air a bit. The damage on my feet aren't too bad. Just socks are a bit sweaty, and so are my inner soles. Here's an example though. I'll try to show you an example of what's going on with my boots. Along here, the split, and also along this side. I think it's on the other boot a bit more, maybe on that side. But also up in here, along these where the leather meets this rubber, I guess you'd call it, and on this side, they're getting splits. And I think that's primarily where the water seeping through. See, it's quite sizable on that one. These have already been in for repair once. Oh, there, look at that. It's huge on that side. They've been in for repair once, and they were meant to be good after that, but not very happy. Might have to take them to the repair place, see if they are essentially fixable, else invest in some new boots, because no way can I do this walk again in those boots.